If you have tried to build a PC, upgrade a laptop, or even buy a high-end smartphone in the last 3 months, you have likely noticed something terrifying. The math doesn't add up anymore. For the better part of a decade, we lived in a golden age of cheap storage and abundant memory. RAM was the one component you never really had to worry about, but in December 2025, that era stopped. Suddenly, consider this. In September of this year, a standard 16GB DDR5 memory chip cost manufacturers about $6.84. By December, that same chip cost $27.20. That is a 300% increase in 90 days. We are seeing 32GB memory kits that used to cost $120, now sitting on shelves for over $400. And that is if you can even find them. In Japan's shops are rationing sales to prevent panic buying. In Taiwan, distributors are holding memory hostage, forcing companies to buy motherboards just to get access to RAM. This isn't just inflation, this is a systemic collapse of consumer supply. And the reason isn't a natural disaster or a power outage. The reason is a choice. The world's biggest technology companies have entered a war for the future of artificial intelligence, and to win that war, they need memory. Welcome to the shortage of 2025. To understand why laptops are getting more expensive, we need to see where memory is going. The global supply of dynamic random access memory, or DRAM, is controlled by an oligopoly, a big three, consisting of Samsung, SK Hynix, and Micron. Together, they control roughly 94% of the market. For years, this industry was cyclical. They would build too many factories, flood the market with chips, prices would crash, and consumers would win. But in late 2024 and throughout 2025, the cycle broke. In late 2025, analysts realized that global RAM inventories, which usually sit at comfortable levels of 13 to 17 weeks of supply, had plummeted down to just 2 to 4 weeks. So, where did all the silicon go? It went to the data centers. You see, the artificial intelligence models, powering things like GPT-5, Google's Gemini, and whatever comes next, they are voracious eaters. They don't just need processing power, they need memory. Specifically, they need something called high bandwidth memory, or HBM. This is where the economics get brutal. To make a memory chip, you start with a silicon wafer. It's a zero-sum game. Every wafer that a manufacturer like SK Hynix turns into high-end HBM for an NVIDIA AI processor is a wafer that does not become a DDR5 stick for your desktop or an LPDDR chip for your phone. And right now, the AI giants are outbidding everyone. OpenAI's Stargate project alone has reportedly secured commitments for up to 900,000 wafers per month by 2029. To put that in perspective, that is nearly 40% of the current global DRAM output. The industry has effectively decided that serving the AI boom is far more profitable than selling memory to you. This phenomenon is being called the Great Memory Decoupling. Historically, when memory technology advanced, it got cheaper and more abundant for everyone. But now, the market has split in two. On one side, you have the hyperscalers, companies like Microsoft, Google, and Meta. They are buying HBM at unlimited volumes. Regardless of the price, they are effectively draining the pool. On the other side, you have the consumer market. The manufacturing process for HBM is difficult. It requires stacking chips vertically, sometimes 8 or 12 layers high. This eats up massive amounts of raw silicon and factory time. Micron, one of the big three, has already sold out its entire HBM supply for 2025 and 2026. They physically cannot make enough. So, what do? They take the production lines that used to make standard PC RAM, and they convert them to make HBM. This has triggered a cycle. DDR4, the memory standard that powers millions of older PCs and budget servers, is being aggressively phased out to free up room for AI chips. Production has been slashed to 20% of 2025 levels. The result is that even old, slower memory is skyrocketing in price because nobody wants to waste time making it anymore. It is a supply-side shock that has caught the entire electronics industry off guard. If there was a single moment where this crisis went from a supply chain headache to a full-blown disaster for consumers, it was December 3rd. They announced they were exiting the consumer memory business entirely. For nearly 30 years, Micron's consumer brand Crucial was a staple for PC builders and upgraders. They were the reliable, affordable option. But Micron looked at the balance sheet and realized that selling $30 RAM sticks to gamers was a waste of silicon, not when they could be selling high-margin modules to data centers. They explicitly stated they are shifting focus to high-growth AI data center chips. The psychological impact of this cannot be overstated. With Micron leaving the retail space, the consumer market is essentially left as a duopoly between Samsung and SK Hynix. Less competition means less price control. Almost immediately following these shifts, we saw the dominoes fall. CyberPower PC, a major system integrator, had to issue a public warning to customers, citing a 500% surge in RAM prices. They literally told people to buy now, because it's only going to get worse. Framework, the company known for repairable laptops, stopped selling standalone RAM modules entirely to prevent scalpers from buying up their stock. We are seeing a market that is broken. In the US, tariffs are adding fuel to the fire, but in places like Japan, the price of a 32GB kit has risen by over 600%. The scary part is that this doesn't stop at your desktop computer. Memory isn't everything. Take your smartphone. A modern flagship phone uses fast LPDDR5X memory. As memory costs explode, phone manufacturers are facing a crisis. Xiaomi's CFO has already warned that these costs will likely force a 20 to 30% price hike on their next generation of phones. We are looking at a world where a mid-range phone might jump from $500 to over $600 just because of the RAM inside it. Then there are the graphics cards. NVIDIA's upcoming RTX 50 series GPUs utilize a new standard called GDDR7, but because the production lines are so clogged with AI memory, GDDR7 is scarce. Reports suggest NVIDIA might cut production of their new consumer cards by 30 to 40% just to avoid overextending. We might be heading toward a repeat of the 2021 GPU shortage, but this time, it's not crypto miners buying all the cards, it's the memory shortage preventing them from being built in the first place. Even car manufacturers are nervous. As vehicles become more autonomous, they need more memory. SMIC, a leading foundry, has noted that automotive clients are hesitating to order new chips because they can't secure the memory to go with them. So, when does this end? If you are hoping for prices to drop in early 2026, the experts have bad news. Leading analysts and executives from SK Hynix predict this shortage will last through late 2027, perhaps even into 2028. Building a new fabrication plant takes 3 to 5 years. And while companies like SK Hynix and Samsung are pouring billions into new factories, that capacity won't be online for years. Until then, we are living in a new reality. The era of cheap, disposable electronics is paused. There is, however, one massive risk hanging over this entire situation: the AI bubble. These memory manufacturers are betting the farm on AI demand continuing forever. They are terrified of overbuilding, which is exactly why they are keeping supply so tight right now. If the AI bubble bursts, and data centers stop buying, we could see the greatest crash in memory prices in history. But until that bubble bursts, you might want to hold on to that old stick of RAM. It's worth a lot more than you think. Implications and future outlook. For the consumer, expect 15-20% price hikes on laptops and pre-builds in 2026. For the industry, a permanent shift where enterprise AI needs dictate consumer availability. The bottom line, as one analyst put it, memory has become the most expensive commodity after oil and gold. Thanks for watching. If you liked the video, please like and subscribe. It helps a lot.